We just got a lot of insane new details about Jimmy Kimmel and his show being canceled after the disgusting comments that he was making about Charlie Kirk, Trump supporters, and everything else. A bunch of blatant lies, and because of that, his show was put to bed. And this whole thing is absolutely hilarious because he is having a complete and total meltdown over this entire thing. But the most hilarious part about all of this is that now we are seeing Marvel actors, Disney actors, Star Wars actors who are rising up against Disney. They are saying that they've had enough, that they're not going to put up with Disney doing this to Jimmy Kimmel, which is just hilarious that they are going to bat for Jimmy Kimmel in this way, since he was basically a nobody at this point. Like in August alone, his peak was 129,000 viewers. He is basically irrelevant at this point, and yet they are all putting their careers on the line for Jimmy Kimmel. It's just absolutely hilarious. Like, we have Tatiana Maslany, who played She-Hulk in the terrible She-Hulk show, who said, cancel your Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN subscriptions. She's literally working against the company that hires her by saying this insanity. This is just completely ridiculous. It just doesn't make any sense. We also have Damon Lindelof, who wrote things like the Watchmen show and things like that, who says that he doesn't want to ever work for them again if they are not going to put Jimmy Kimmel back in his job. We also have Pedro Pascal, who's going out there defending Jimmy Kimmel and stuff. Standing with you, Jimmy Kimmel, defend free speech, defend democracy, which is very interesting coming from Pedro Pascal, considering the fact that something very similar happened to his co-star not that long ago, just a few years ago, Gina Carano, and he said absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. But he will go and defend Jimmy Kimmel all day long. Absolutely pathetic in every way possible. So, Jimmy Kimmel is absolutely losing it over this entire thing. He is having a complete and total meltdown.
Mickey Mouse pulled the plug, and Jimmy Kimmel's not happy. ABC suspended his late-night show indefinitely. He was spotted storming out of the studio last night and hopping into a getaway car. Even across the pond, Trump couldn't resist.
Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago.
So why'd Kimmel get...
Which is 100% correct, by the way. I think that ABC was looking for a good opportunity to get rid of Jimmy Kimmel, and this was just the perfect storm for it. All right? They were hoping to get rid of him a long time ago. Let's just be honest.
Benched. He falsely framed you for killing Charlie.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Almost half of ABC's affiliates were threatening to black out his show that night. Advertisers were burning up the phones. ABC executives were getting flooded with emails. Disney boss Bob Iger wanted Kimmel to apologize, but Kimmel said, "No way, Bob."
Jimmy wanted to go on his show last night, and in his monologue, I hear that he wanted to address the backlash from the right regarding his commentary about Charlie Kirk's charged killer. And I hear that that monologue was very hot. It very much took aim at MAGA, and that is when the executives said, we can't have him go on the air tonight.
Little Jimmy Kimmel thought he was bigger than Disney, bigger than Mickey Mouse.
The fact that Jimmy Kimmel was going to be doubling down on it and saying even more insane things if they were going to put him on air is just ridiculous. And any company is in their right to stop that from happening because of all of the threats coming from advertisers and people saying that they were going to block the show and all of that. They made a company decision that made a lot of sense, all right? The whole narrative that the FCC was the one that caused this is just complete and total BS across the board. But of course, that is what the leftists and the Democrats are running with because, well, they got to use something, right? Like that's just how they work. So with all that being said, this whole thing is completely collapsing on Jimmy Kimmel, but there's no one to blame but himself. So with that being said, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.